everybody. Welcome back to a brand new edition of Boogie and The Bell. This is a end of the NFL season episode. I'm here with Boogie. Of course, Boogie, how we doing?
Hey, we're doing great, man. We made it to the long President's Day weekend. We got NBA All-Star weekend coming up. We are 5 days removed from the end of the NFL season. We're going to get into that later, but I'm excited, man. I'm ready to get into it.
And like I said last week, we do not stop after the football season, but I am very proud that we made it all the way through the season, and we have a lot of things to focus up on. But first, we're going to get right into our sports trivia. Boogie, can you give me yours?
Yes, sir. So my question to you, in honor of All-Star weekend, can you tell me the 5 NBA players with the most All-Star appearances?
In history?
In history, in NBA history.
Okay, we got LeBron James.
LeBron James is number one at 20 appearances.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Not in the top 5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All-Star appearances?
All-Star appearances.
Years he took Gosh, that's tough. Let's do Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, he is number 3 on the list with 18.
A lifetime All-Star? Wow. So now you gotta do long career, but still always good. Melo? Carmelo Anthony with 10? 10 All-Star appearances is a lot.
10 it's not gonna get you in the top 5.
Damn. How many did Michael Jordan have?
Great question. Less than 15, because 15 Michael Jordan had 14, so he's right outside the top 5.
14. So above that would be like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Did they have the All-Star game back then?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He is number 2 on the list with 19 All-Star appearances.
I'm going to get torched for saying Carmelo Anthony. I'm still forgetting like all of history. I didn't know when the All-Star game like overly started. So let's do Magic Johnson.
Not Magic.
Lifetime career? Like you're talking about lifetime, like every single year they're going to
be
in. Larry Bird?
Think historic big men, not Larry Bird.
Oh, Bill Russell? Did they have an All-Star game back then?
No, not that back. Not that long ago. Not Bill Russell.
That's why Kareem was easy.
But
you
think
said
Biggs.
Magic's not even on there?
Think Biggs.
Oh, Tim Duncan. Easy money.
Tim Duncan, he is tied. It's kind of it's a 3-way tie, tied for 4th. Tim Duncan with 15 All-Star appearances. 2 other big men have 15 All-Star appearances. One of them will surprise you.
I don't know if Shaquille played that goddamn long to be able to get in every time, but no.
Who?
God dang! Can I get a hint?
One was an actor. He was in movies. Currently a broadcaster. He's best friends with Charles Barkley.
I said Shaq.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's Shaq.
Oh man, I said Shaq. So how many did Shaq have? 16?
Yeah, 15. They're all tied
15
for 15.
is tied.
15, yeah. This one will actually surprise you. This last one.
Jeez, a lifetime All-Star. I'm trying to think. So
think good. He had a good tenure with the Timberwolves.
Oh, I was gonna go crazy and say Dwight Howard. I'm like,
no, not Dwight.
He had a good tenure with the Timberwolves. Is it Kevin Garnett?
Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett with 15.
What did I say? Durant?
No,
I meant to say Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett. He got
all right,
15.
Sure. Dope shit. All right. That was rough, but it was hey. Shouts out Kevin Garnett. Alrighty. Lavelle, Boogie. Give me the top three odds of next year's Super Bowl winner currently. This is
Oh,
going based off of Cincinnati.com.
the Chiefs got to be in the top 3.
We got the Chiefs at plus 700 at number 2.
At number 2, okay, are the Niners.
We got the 49ers at number 1
Okay,
at
so
plus
1, 2.
500.
All right, number 3, give me the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh, you're very, very lucky, Al. Oh, yeah, you're actually wrong. It's my bad. I don't know why I'm
Oh.
looking directly at it knowing you're wrong. See, that's what that was my number 3 if I would have had to guess this list, but they're actually number 5 on this based off this list.
Okay, is it the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, we got Eagles on 7 on this list, but I do want to check out another list because I don't have them all the way at 7.
Is it the Buffalo Bills?
Good job. Buffalo Bills, number
Okay,
3 at
yes.
plus 1,000. So those
I
are kind
figure,
of odds you could put in with them.
people are so high on the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not there. I'm not there.
I'm not high on anything NFC. I'm not high on anything AFC because the Chiefs are going to be there. So I'm more high on an NFC team actually beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl currently based off of the way the past 2 seasons have went. So,
right.
Alrighty, going right into our topics. Let's see who got the first one. Okay. The most important topic of the day is our Super Bowl recap. El Boogie, what was your experience watching the Super Bowl? Give it all to me.
Man, the first half I was almost disappointed because I was kind of hoping for a shootout in this game. The first half was kind of slow, some mistakes on both sides. Christian McCaffrey had an early fumble. But it looked like the Niners were going to win. Like that first half, it looked like, all right, the Niners, they're not playing perfect, but it looks like they were in command of the game. Second half, it was just both offenses were doing okay. I think the Niners, that costly, like it wasn't a muffed punt, but the punt like hit the guy's shoe, and then the Chiefs recovered it at like the 15 or 20. That was a crazy play. And I think that was where the momentum shifted, and Kansas City was actually able to come back and put them in position to send the game into overtime. So I thought it was a great game. Once again, Patrick Mahomes, you can't really stop him. The only time we've seen him get stopped in the Super Bowl is when his offensive line was on their backs the whole game. So yeah, if Patrick Mahomes is upright, he's winning the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say.
So we finished the first half 10-3, right?
It was 10-3.
I had no faith in San Francisco winning that game when I knew it was 10-3. Now they had the opportunity for that to possibly be 17-3. Then I would have had way more faith in it because then they're playing a very hard game of catch up. But Kansas City having I would say more of an awkward first half than an unproductive first half. It was a little awkward. So, of course, the drive with Pacheco. I do feel like the 49ers had longer drives. Not sure about that. But I do know for a fact that when it was 10-3, I was like, there's no way the Chiefs are going to lose this game. They're going to make the adjustment, and if it comes down to pressure, which exactly what it came down to, the Chiefs would win this game. So I think that the real pace of the game was judged based off of not capitalizing on moments. So I don't blame anything that happened in the first half. I just think that they could escape that first half by up more than 10 points. And not escaping that first half up more than 10 points, you got to believe that the Chiefs are going to go in the locker room and readjust. And even though they had a meltdown, so there's 2 ways you could have took the meltdown. You had Travis Kelce. I would consider, Pacheco, his meltdown when he threw his helmet down. He kind of picked it back up after that going into the second quarter. But, they did have a meltdown, but I knew for a fact that they were going to come out to half a better team. And that's where you do take your time to at least get a 10-point lead. And I think a 14-point lead would have really put them out there. But when I knew it was 10-3, I'm like, there's no reason why the Chiefs aren't going to be able to score 2 more touchdowns.
Yeah, and I think it was actually kind of crazy to see that emotion come out um on the Chiefs side. Like everyone was like, "Oh, they're just really passionate," but at some point it looks kind of like it looks like just like the system is crumbling a little bit. So I don't know. I didn't see it as a good sign, but they ended up winning the game, so you can't really say too much about it one way
And
or the other.
and that's the difference. The difference is if you win or lose. So if a fighter goes back to the corner and he cusses at his coaches and his coaches cuss back at him, but he goes back out there and knocks the person out, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, they were just firing each other up." But if a fighter goes back to his corner, starts cussing at his coaches, they cuss back at him, he goes back out there and gets knocked out, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this was all bad from the beginning and they were off the same." You know what I'm saying? So it's just that balance. So when I see Travis Kelce push and yell at his coach, it's like, yeah, he just wants the ball, and yeah, he's fired up, and yeah, he's having a meltdown, everything like that. So you just judge it based at the end of the game, where it's like if they won, but if not, they would be talking about it in the exact opposite way. So if they lost that game, then it's like, oh, are they going to break up? Is Andy Reid too old for this? Is he going to retire after being disrespected by one of his players? But no, when you win the football game, you have your coach after say, oh, he keeps me young. He keeps me on my toes. So the difference is winning and losing, and that's it. So I don't look at that as a positive moment in the game at all. I think if they lost the game, then that would be the topic of conversation, is that they just melt down. They were too emotional and they melted down. They win the game, their emotions propelled. They were so serious. They were so serious about winning the game. So in those scenarios, it's literally win or lose, and you judge how bad or good it is based off of a win or a loss. And in their sake, it's another Chiefs win.
What did you think about Brock Purdy's performance?
I thought it was good. I thought he managed the game well. I thought he missed out on 3 points in the first half. With a blessing, I think he missed out on 7, but I think that they should have gotten the ball in the end zone one more time where they got the extra 3 points. But other than that, I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. That final drive where they got 3 points, not too much reason to take a risk. We could kind of get into the overtime situation where it's like, what would you do as a coach, knowing that Patrick Mahomes is going to be what opportunity do you want him to get, the first or the second one? Now, I'm personally choosing the first, and I'm also not electing a player who just listens to my first statement to run out there and just say it. I think we would have that all planned out before, but
So
I
so
thought
wait, so you're
not to get away from Brock Purdy, but I'm
yeah.
saying like Brock Purdy played the game that he was told to play. Now, there's no superhero moment that he could have had because he did his job. He did his job. He did a Super Bowl job. He did exactly what he was supposed to in this football game. He did what he was told. So I don't put any blame on him. I don't think he doesn't deserve a contract. I don't think he deserves any blame or anything like that. I just think that he played the game that he was told to play, and they just fell short due to coaching decisions.
Yeah, I agree. You can't really put any of the blame on Brock Purdy. He had a solid game. I think even when you look back at the last time the Chiefs and the Niners played, Brock played better than Jimmy G played in that Super Bowl. So, I think with Brock, I, people were talking a lot like, oh, he's just a game manager. He's not good. I think on that team in that system, he's good enough. He deserves to be there and be their starter. They don't actually
Yeah.
have to sign him because he's only in year 2 of a 4-year deal. So they got a guaranteed another year of cheap quarterback play. So it looks good for the 49ers. But that overtime decision, were you saying that you would take the ball first?
No, I'm saying I would give it away.
Oh, okay, okay,
So I
okay.
would
Right,
want
right,
two.
right, right,
So
right, right,
I'm
right.
so Chiefs 1, Niners 2. That's what I would want.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. They've gotten
And
they've
then
gotten a lot of.
you got to assume that they get very analytical in the box. So they're like, okay, whatever way they had more success. So in the second half, whichever way they started, whatever quarter they've scored more points in, I would make them go the opposite way when they say, "Oh, which way do you want to go?" So I would make sure I
Oh,
would go the way that we're having more success and they're having less success. I mean, everything counts. I mean, this is a Super Bowl. You're only going to be able to live it, play it. Like we're only going to be able to watch so many in our lifetime. We're only going to be able, like, so imagine coaching and being a part of that. Like whatever gives our team the best chance to win. So I would definitely not give Patrick Mahomes the ball second, especially after 3 points. But that's foreseen. So I would have went 2, and whichever way my team would have benefit going, I would have went that way. So people miss out on that part as well. And I'm like, what if they scored more touchdowns going the way that they ended up winning the game with?
Yeah, good
So
point.
yeah, that was horrible. Is what if that's the answer to the question? That was just crazy.
I think that's the right call. This whole week, people have been like trashing the Niners for making that decision. The players not knowing the updated overtime rules in the playoffs, and even
Did they
Kyle
not explain
Shannon.
it at the coin toss though? He said you guys are both going to
No, no,
get a
no.
chance.
They didn't know it until the coin toss. Like a lot of the players were they had the rules displayed on the jumbotron, and the players in the game were reading them for the first time. Like, oh, really? That's what's happening? Like they didn't go into the game prepared, which is just that looks bad on the coaching. Kyle Shanahan's explanation for why he did it was also just kind of like not smart. Like he was like,
No,
"Oh,
the
if we did
player's
it."
explanation. It was
The
bullshit.
players were funny. The players were just like, we just play football, bro. We don't know the rules. But Shanahan, he was like, oh, if we score and then they score and then we get the ball back, we can close it out. But it's like that's you're playing Patrick Mahomes, bro. Like you don't do that. And it makes a lot of sense to give the other team the ball first, because then when you get the ball, you don't have 3 downs to work with. You have 4 downs. Because I mean it's either score or it's either score or you lose. So you have 4 downs to get every first down. That makes your offense. Like the play calling is different. The structure is different. You don't need big chunk plays. You need 3-4 yards every play and march down the field. It makes the game easier. So yeah, that call right there probably lost them the Super Bowl. Probably. But yeah, I mean it's just a blunder. I'm sure moving forward, nobody will make that decision again. And even the replay, because they've shown a lot of the like mic'd up film and like the players' reactions during the game and the audio. Patrick Mahomes couldn't believe it when they chose to get the ball first. He was like, "Bro, really?" Like his face was like, "Huh?" Like he couldn't believe it. So I don't know. It ended up falling into the Chiefs' lap.
How did you feel about like the way he approached his drive? Did you notice how he didn't really sweat? He wasn't tripping. Mm-hmm. He was ready for the next play. The 4th down, there was like not even like I couldn't tell if he had jitters. It looked like he was playing the second snap of the season. Like, we're just trying to get into the roll of thing. I didn't see no stress out of his play. I didn't see nothing forced. I didn't see besides that silly interception 2 quarters earlier. What was it, in the 3rd or 4th quarter? No, it was in the 4th quarter. He threw that interception, right?
I think it was 3rd, but don't quote me.
Yeah, but how calm he was for that drive, I'm like, this is over. This is just silly. Dude, I thought Travis Kelce was gonna score on that play. Like when he had all that open space going around, I thought that was it. I was like, oh, that's a Super Bowl. How'd you feel about the actual Super Bowl play? Where you're like, they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, the game-winning touchdown. Oh, it was just so open. It was so open. It was so easy. It didn't even feel like that epic moment. It was just such a clean, easy touchdown, and it's flawless. Like, oh wow, the game's over. Like even
you know what I told myself? I told myself when it happened, I was like, oh damn, that's a Super Bowl. That's what I said. Dude, I was like, damn, that was a Super Bowl.
Dude, Mecole Hardman, who caught the touchdown, he didn't even realize it. He was just like, oh, we just won the Super Bowl? What? Like, he could it didn't hit, So, but yeah, no, that last drive, Mahomes, he did everything he needed to do. The experience of him being in the playoffs and the Super Bowl so many times, and him just being that same calm, collected player. He made the crucial runs for first downs when he needed to. That right there, it's moments like that really define a career and define your status as a top quarterback, top player, Hall of Fame player. We already know. This game just reemphasized it. Patrick Mahomes is on that level. He's obviously going to the Hall of Fame whenever he calls it quits, but
Not
that
even
right
30,
there,
3 chips.
seriously, 3 chips, and he turns 29 this year, so he has an opportunity to get 4 before 30. So
Yeah. Shout
it's
out Patrick
crazy.
Mahomes. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm a huge Pacheco fan. I like the way he runs. I like the way how he plays with his heart. I'm a Broncos fan, so it hurts seeing the AFC, but at least the AFC West won a Super Bowl. But if you want to take some credit there, but I mean, shouts out
Yeah.
to Chiefs, man, super winners.
Yep.
All
Shout
right,
out.
you
We're in a
about ready to wrap
dynasty.
it up? How you feel about them commercials? Commercials, halftime show, greatest halftime show ever.
I really liked the halftime show. Some people
I
were
thought it was
complaining
awesome.
about it. I loved it. I loved the music. I love that he had Alicia Keys and Ludacris come out, and he had her playing the guitar. I loved it. I thought it was great. Some people didn't like it. I guess if you're just not familiar with Usher's music, but I enjoyed that.
See, I just don't have it over the LA year, but maybe it's because I enjoy like everybody who was on that LA stage.
Mm.
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was amazing. I wouldn't want no better from out of a performance. I thought it was cool. It was well put together. The moment with Alicia Keys was awkward. Her little
Oh
her little vocal mess up. But
yeah,
I mean,
on the first
she
note.
recovered. She came right back. She
Oh
did
yeah,
her
no,
thing.
she was still great. She was still great. But overall, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
liked
thought it
it.
was awesome.
Good
And
show.
what was the any commercial stood out to you? See, I didn't see Kanye's commercial. Did you?
I didn't see his commercial either. I saw it later and I was like, wait, this was a commercial? Like, this seems
I did
weird.
not see it.
There was
Shouts
one.
out to Kanye.
Honestly, the thing that I liked the most were the movie trailers. Those were the commercials I liked the most.
Which one stood
They
out the
showed
most?
they showed the new like a little trailer for the new Deadpool movie. They showed
Okay,
that one. They showed Planet of the
I
Apes.
can't
I
remember. I
like
kept going to the
I
kitchen
like
during
that one.
commercials.
The State Farm one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was
Oh, the Beyonce the Beyonce country, or what's it? Is it a movie or was it just what was it for?
it's
That
a
was
song.
fire.
It's a song. She
Yeah.
dropped a song today. She released it today.
All right, for
So
sure. That
I
was
haven't heard it,
fire.
but I know she dropped it.
All right, man. You ready to let
But
go of
cool.
our NFL season?
Yeah, it hurts to see it go, but that's the nature of the game. The season starts and the season must end. We will have to carry on until September without any NFL football. Plenty of sports to talk about until then, but bittersweet to see it come to a conclusion. But
For
great,
sure.
great Super Bowl, entertaining Super Bowl.
All right, man. That closes out our NFL season. Of course, we're gonna like get updated with the draft and a lot of transactions that are about to happen around the league. But with that said, let's go in to our topic number 2. Oh, excuse me. We actually do have a little more NFL talk. Excuse me.
A little bit.
Let's go
Top
with topic number 2. El Boogie, what is it?
Topic number 2, talking the Chiefs and the Niners. What do each of those teams need to do in order to make it back to the Super Bowl?
The Chiefs just need to have a stronger receiving core and a more consistent season. That's it. Having a more consistent season will just silence the haters, which is literally us, the media, the people who want to bring up every reason why they can't win it. But even with all those reasons, they prove that they still can win it. So just having a more consistent season. They did pretty solid health wise. They have I'm sure they have the cap to add a couple pieces. When you have such an amazing, they don't have no money.
It's not that they don't have no money, but they're not in a great cap situation, and they have some critical
Yeah.
free agents. Some critical free agents. So
So you retain what you can, but I mean, it's as long as you can keep that defense as strong as possible and just give them one piece, just one like a real strong piece. I think everybody showed up in the Super Bowl second half, but just a strong, just another strong piece, just a strong receiver core piece, maybe a rookie late in the rounds who's willing to make a big contribution to a developed team. But that's it. I mean, keep that defense as intact as possible. And the most important thing is, I would say, that just a little more consistency throughout the season. we shouldn't be guessing if the Chiefs are going to be actually make the playoffs 3 weeks before the end of the season, right? You remember that little mix-up where the Broncos could have been the AFC
Right.
West champions, and then they
Right.
would have missed the
Yeah.
playoffs. So let's leave all that alone. Let's go for a 12-5 season. Is it 12-6 or 12-5? 12-5.
12-5.
12-6. It's like 17. Do I know
17
how to count?
games. 18 weeks. 17 games.
Yeah. Let's let's go for a 12-5 season, man. Like let's just and other than that, there's no reason why they can't beat a team in the if it ends up being a divisional. I mean, if it ends up being a wild card, divisional, and a AFC championship game, there's nothing that really stops them. It's what the league's gonna do. What's the AFC's gonna do to try to stop them? What about you?
Mm.
Oh, and then, well, to answer your other part of your question, San Francisco, what they need to do is retain talent. And if they're in a position to retain talent, good. If not, I mean, everybody in the league is just looking at you like, oh, well, we're going to try to get you next year, especially those Lions. So they got competition to me. They got way more competition than I would believe the Chiefs have, only because the Chiefs have proven that they're the best team in the AFC.
Good
What about you?
points. I think. Well, starting with the Chiefs, the thing with the Chiefs, and you make a good point. Yes, they just need to keep the defense, but that's going to be the tough part because they have Chris Jones. He is a free agent, and you have
Really?
L'Jarius Sneed, who through the playoffs was playing some of his best football. Like seriously, like L'Jarius Sneed was on point. Um, and both of those are free agents. Those are two free agent pieces. I think Willie Gay, who's a good linebacker for them, he's also a free agent. And the sad part is they're not going to be able to keep everyone because Patrick Mahomes makes so much money. So you're
Yeah.
probably going to have to let L'Jarius Sneed go. I think he is less crucial than Chris Jones. They need to do whatever they can to keep Chris Jones. I think down the stretch, there were like 2 times where he put pressure on Brock Purdy and he stopped touchdowns. Like you need Chris Jones on that defense. You got to pay him. And the unfortunate part is there's going to be a huge market for him this offseason. A bunch of teams
Oh,
with
yeah.
cap space are going to want to get him, are going to want to pull
That
him.
bag.
So, yeah, Kansas City, you got to do what you can to keep Chris Jones. You probably let Snead go. You have good young corner in Trent McDuffie. The last 2 seasons they've drafted very well, so just keep that up with this draft. Get some good impact players in the draft. That defense can keep it rolling. Offense, you would like to see them add another wide receiver, another weapon. I mean, Pacheco's good. Maybe another running back just to give him some breather. Their O line, I think they need O line help, but it's not a a priority. So I think a good wide receiver um, in the draft probably to go with Rashee Rice, and maybe you keep MVS because he's been good at times. Um, Travis Kelce's coming back, obviously Mahomes. Um, so yeah, as long as you have Mahomes, I think you have a chance to be great every season. So, but the key, yeah, keeping that defense for Kansas City's big. For the Niners, the Niners don't have to do too much because again, Brock Purdy's making real little money, next year. You have all of your really talented players still under contract. I was actually just looking up what their free agents or who their free agents are this offseason. Randy Gregory, who they got from the Broncos, you'll probably let him go. Chase Young, who didn't he was just okay. Like he wasn't a big difference maker. If you could sign Chase Young to a not super expensive deal, then cool. But if not, you can let him go. Javon Kinlaw, you know, like, but I don't see anybody on the 49ers that's going to be a free agent that was a huge impact player. Everybody, they seem pretty replaceable. So Niners, you just gotta, run it back next season, perform again. Trent Williams is coming back for another season. Your offense. Oh no, what's his name? Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk. He is a free agent. I forgot.
Really?
He is a free agent this year. Y'all need to pay
After that
him.
performance, he has some plays out there, man. He has some plays. He's a
Y'all
hot
need to
commodity.
pay. Y'all need to pay
Yeah,
Brandon
I was
Ayuk.
like,
Pay him.
you remember that deep ball he caught it against the Lions too? That was
Oh
crazy.
man, y'all need to pay
They gonna
Brandon
have to drop
Ayuk.
that bag for that, man.
Yeah, this was his come out season. Y'all need to pay
Because
him.
he'll go to the Chiefs. He'll go to.
Oh!
He'll go to the Chiefs, and that'll F up the whole game.
That is, yeah. So no, y'all need to keep Brandon Ayuk. Every other free agent Niners y'all can let go, but not Brandon. Even if you got to sign him on the franchise tag, keep that man on the team. Keep him in the building.
That man's dangerous. That man's a hot commodity for next year.
I forgot.
Sure.
So yeah, that's how both those teams can come back. The real tough part about the Niners though is Dre Greenlaw tore his Achilles in the Super Bowl. We all know we all know that's a 9-ish month, at least 9 months recovery time. So best case scenario, they get Dre Greenlaw back.
Doctor.
Maybe. So there's a I don't think we see him at the beginning of the season. If the Niners make it to the playoffs, we could see him come back. But other than that, Dre Greenlaw's gone for the whole season pretty much. So that's a tough loss because that defense did not look the same once he got injured. And I think I saw a graphic where it showed the stats of his replacement, and Patrick Mahomes lit up his replacement in coverage, like lit him up something bad. So yeah, so that's a tough loss, but yeah, but that's what both teams need to do. Sign Brandon Ayuk, sign Chris Jones. That's what you need to do.
Huge. All right. Well, earlier I was talking about letting go of the NFL season, but now we're letting go of the NFL season. We're definitely gonna catch up on any news that happens, but let's get into topic number 3. We're just gonna take a little time to just talk about our interests after the football season, since we were just so football heavy. But of course, we got NBA season, we got All-Star weekend coming this weekend. I am a huge UFC fan, so we'll see if we could get El Boogie involved with that. But other than that, we'll probably put together brackets for the NCAA tournament. And special announcement, we are actively working to get guests on the show. So we would love to talk to a lot of the athletes. And I think it would be really fun to get athlete perspectives, because we were great high school athletes. I was a martial artist for a while. We didn't make it to the collegiate level, but it'd be great to have actual athletes talk about their experience for everybody listening. So a couple of updates. Anything else that we could be bringing to the table here soon, El Boogie?
I mean, a ton of basketball right now, especially like you said with March Madness coming up. Then once we get into springtime, I'm sure we'll get into a lot of fighting. UFC is year round. We might even dabble into some baseball this season. This might be the year I actually get into some baseball. Who knows?
Serve the people.
We'll see. But the good news is, even though football season is over, there is a ton of stuff to get into in the off season. We have the draft coming up in April. I think free agency for the NFL starts in March, so obviously we'll talk free agent news. NFL draft, looking forward to the season. So we got a lot of stuff that we can get into and will get into.
For sure. And let's do it immediately. All right. Our final topic of the night, El Boogie, go ahead and give it to me.
All right, hey Bill, we're talking basketball. We got the All-Star game coming up this weekend. So my question to you, when you look at the All-Star rosters, who do you think shouldn't be on an All-Star roster, and who do you think got left out?
So I think I should have pulled up the let's look at the actual because there's crazy stuff in between. Steph's not a starter. Who was the starter who got kicked out for Shea?
This year the starters, I think Shea.
Steph got kicked out. So
Yeah.
Steph got kicked out of the starter, which is crazy. Now, do I have Steph having a better season than Luka? No, but that's just crazy. Like, before you know,
but Shea is
oh no, Shea a dog,
season.
boy.
Yeah, Shea is doing.
Yeah,
you
Shea's
know,
a dog.
he's an MVP. Dog. He's like second or third in the MVP odds right now.
So I that one's the one that sticks out to me the most because it's like, dang, are we getting older? I don't love. So Kawhi's considered. Wait, hold on.
Kawhi is
Shouts out
also on
Kawhi,
the
man.
bench, but he's on there
Oh,
though.
I
He's
thought
on.
right here is saying he was starting. I was like, I don't think Kawhi's starting.
Nah, he's on the starters for the West. You got LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, Shea, and Jokic.
Man, this list just shows me how much I haven't been paying attention. We've been so focused on the NFL, so I don't know who you got. I don't have
I,
nobody who I feel is left out, but I got to look at it deeply.
I think it's ridiculous that I don't think Damian Lillard is having a great season. I think he deserves to be in the All Star, but not to be a starter.
Who
Like
do you
I
have
think
over him?
over him, I would have rather seen Jalen Brunson, baller, Jalen Brunson or Donovan Mitchell. I think one of those two guys I would have rather seen in the starting lineup instead of Damian. Um, so yeah, they definitely got left out. Tyrese Halliburton, I think he deserved it this year because he is balling. He's been carrying that Pacers team. I don't know what they're doing with Joel because I think he's hurt right now, so he can't even. He's in the starting lineup, but he's not.
Who got in? Somebody got in. Somebody cool got in because he was out.
Uh, I don't
Shouts out
know. Not
Porzingis, man. I heard he's been having a pretty solid season out there in Boston.
Porzingis, yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna replace him in the starter. It doesn't have it on this list here. But it kind of surprises me that KD is in the starting lineup. Kinda.
Who do you have over KD?
Looking at the
That power
forwards.
forward, small forward position.
Now, see, I would have believed if they put Kawhi in over KD. I would have been okay with that.
Man, the
But
Clippers
KD
have
is
three.
but
They have
KD is
three of their
balling.
guards all in it.
What
They
sucks is
got James
Anthony Edwards.
Harden.
Anthony Edwards couldn't get the start, man. Which sucks because Luka obviously deserves it. Shea obviously deserves it. Those are your two guards. But Anthony Edwards, dude, he is a baller.
He's the
Like
future.
I don't
He's
I
the
don't I
future.
don't I don't care for the Timberwolves, but I am an Anthony Edwards fan. Like that dude, he goes hard.
I see Carl Anthony Towns snuck in there.
Say what you want, but Cat's actually having a pretty solid season. Cat is
Is he?
Yeah, he actually this year he really deserved it to be on the roster.
I gotta do some paying attention, man. I feel like really behind looking at this All Star list.
It looks weird. Like it kind of looks weird. Like
We
just
gotta
seeing
stream
it.
some games.
Right. No, but we'll get really tapped into basketball in this last couple months of the regular season, but
And so, what are
yeah.
you feeling? How you who do you feel is left out of all this list? Because I can't
Oh,
see a name where I'm like, that's who's missing.
and I'm not saying this guy deserved to get in this season necessarily, but a player that I feel like doesn't get respect at all or doesn't get enough respect is Jamal Murray. I don't think he gets enough respect. He's had injuries this season. He's missed some time,
Yeah,
and
I
it
was
takes
about to
him a
say
little
he
bit
missed
to
the
it takes
thread.
it takes him a little bit to get going. So I totally completely agree he should not be on the All-Star roster, but I feel like he doesn't get the respect that a top guard in the West deserves. So I don't know,
So
Jamal.
when the Nuggets season started, we rode that high, really high. What were we like 10-0? And then
Oh
before you know,
yeah,
like 16-8 or 16-9. So
uh,
we rode that 10-0 really hard. But as soon as Jamal Murray got hurt, I'm talking like 2 months. We got like 2 months of like not so good play, having to readjust. Comes back and they had trouble adjusting back to that. And instead of being like a far one, what are we floating around at? Like a 3-4?
well we're in a well the 1 through 4 is all tight in the West right now. I'm pulling
Exactly.
I'm pulling up
And
the
I feel like the
standings.
Nuggets should be a far one, but I mean the season's not always going to be
Oh,
perfect.
we're dropping a little bit. We're 3 games, but we're in fourth place right now. We're 3 games behind
Four.
first. But we go on a hot streak. We could be one again. We could be two again. So
I'm feeling a strong 3-2. Two guarantees you that conference championship. I think 3-4 is a little scary for the Nuggets, just because they're
I
coming
don't
off
want.
of the champion. I mean, the West. I think the West until the day we die is going to be the toughest conference to play in.
I mean, yeah,
That's what it's been in my lifetime.
I mean, you got the Suns. The Suns, who are a good team, and they're in the 5. The Mavericks,
Clippers, man. They got
the Mavericks.
A's.
Oh, the Clippers are scary.
The
The
Clippers are
Clippers,
running out of time in life. I mean, besides Kawhi, who has one? Honestly, not really. Like, the Clippers are running out of time. Like, this is their chance. And we've said that about James Harden before. Paul George, if he stays healthy, we've said that about him before. And, man, who wouldn't want to see Russell Westbrook win one? So,
oh, yeah, no. I mean, if the Clippers ended up if the Nuggets couldn't win it this season and the Clippers ended up winning it, I would be happy. I'd be happy for all those guys.
Yeah. I'm not tripping. I mean, for a different LA to win, I mean, that would be something. And so
it'd be really huge for that franchise, man. That franchise has had just bad luck in the playoffs. They've always been the little ugly stepchild to the Lakers, so I feel like for that franchise, that'd be good. And they're building their new arena. So that's going to get their fan base up. That owner's going to make some money. Not coming to us, obviously, but, good for them.
What a crazy roster. I'm just looking at their stats from this Warriors game. I'm just like, yikes. Kawhi didn't play this past Warriors game. I mean, to know that Kawhi gets added onto this, I'm looking at a 24-5-5 night from Paul George, 26-7-8 from James Harden, Russell Westbrook's 15-6-5, and I'm just like, when you add Kawhi, you're automatically adding 22 to 28 points. I'm like, this is crazy. That's a crazy constructed roster.
What's crazy is when they got James Harden and then they went on like a 6 or 7 game losing streak, and everyone was like, "Oh, the Clippers suck. Oh, that was a dumb trade." And now look at them. They got it together, and they're on top of the. On the top of the West.
When Dame and Giannis are like on point, it's gonna get crazy. Like, that's some like real explosive. I think they had like a little streak where Dame would just go nuts, and then of course you see the Greek Freak flying down the court and just bamming shit. But when they really get on the same court, I haven't watched a full Bucks game to know, but if they could get on the same report, I'm like, the way that roster is constructed, it could get dangerous.
I think, excuse me, I don't know. I'm not a really big believer in the Bucks this year. I'm not, dude.
Dame time?
There's something going on with that team or in that building that doesn't feel right. Them being the number 2 seed in the East and then firing their coach doesn't feel right. Them bringing in Doc Rivers and him having a turbulent start since he started, that doesn't feel right. I get on paper, yes. Giannis,
now listen
Dame
to what
Lillard,
you just said about the Clippers.
They sound great. The thing is, the Clippers added in a new player. They had the great coach already there. Ty Lue is a top coach. He was already there. He was like, all right, I just got to figure out how to implement this player in. Now you got a new coach. Your whole system, your whole scheme has to change now. It's not one player getting on page. It's every player getting on page. So I don't know, that turbulence, that shifting. They could figure it out. They could go on a run. Hell, they could win the finals. I'm not saying they don't have the potential to. I'm just saying I'm not putting my money on it. I think it's going to be Boston coming out of the East again. But I mean, we'll see. We will see. Already, we're week 1 into basketball, and I already got hot takes.
Boston Celtics. This current Boston Celtics team is the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to our entire football season.
That is
another episode of Boogie and The Bell. Boogie, do you got anything for the people before we get out of here tonight?
That take was disrespectful. I don't know.
Are they not, though?
Hey, they at least make it to the finals. I don't know about them Cowboys.
I'm saying this constructed Boston team. Well, they made it to the finals, yes, and they
can make it to the finals. Well, hey,
we saw how that went.
Well, see, that's a crazy. See, I thought my take was hot. Your take was on fire. But shoot, that's it. I guess that's the hot take of the night. Shoot, we'll dissect it some more. Hey, make sure y'all tune in on YouTube and TikTok. We're gonna have these hot basketball takes for the next couple months. Follow us, watch our content, put a like, follow us, whatever, everything. On Boogie and the Bell, man.
Peace.